Imagine you suddenly find yourself in an alternate reality. A dreamlike place where nothing quite makes sense and yet it all feels eerily familiar. What would the music of such a place sound like? That's the question I wanted to answer by making this video. To understand what the Backrooms are, define what constitutes a Backrooms song, and to share with all of you the best ones I found. To accomplish this, I dug through 17 discographies of the most infamous artists associated with the Backrooms and put the best music into a playlist which I have created for your listening pleasure. But before we can jump into the music, we need to understand what the Backrooms even are. If you aren't careful and no clip out of reality, you'll end up in the Backrooms, a dimension filled with nonsensical architecture, curious anomalies, and the strangest feeling that you've been there before. God save you if you hear anything lurking nearby, because it sure as hell heard you. That's a paraphrased version of the original 4chan post that created the Backrooms, and from this simple, slightly off picture and paragraph quickly grew an expansive lore. On top of everyone popping out new Backrooms levels left and right, it sparked the rise of liminal and dreamcore content. These were images, videos, and music that aimed to recreate that eerie nostalgic feeling of the original Backrooms photo. The music in particular really seemed effective at immersing everyone into this world. Even to this day, I see liminal playlists sneak into my recommended feed every now and then. So what exactly is this genre of music? I probably couldn't give you a good answer before making this video, but after my many hours of research, I believe I've come up with a pretty solid definition. First, we need to clearly establish the words nostalgic and eerie within this musical context, because it isn't the type of nostalgia where you hear a piece of music that you can instantly identify as something from your childhood.
This one, no bueno.
It needs to be more vague than that. Something that gives you the weirdest feeling of deja vu, even though you've never heard it before.
This one, I'm confident.
Eerie is another very carefully chosen word, as you don't want the music to lean too far into scary. Music that's meant to be straight up scary, like something from a slasher movie, isn't going to cut it.
No bueno.
The true horror of the Backrooms comes from the uncanny and the unknown. That's why we need music that's unsettling more than outright scary. Backrooms music also tends to evoke feelings of dread, whimsy, or just plain weirdness.
Nigga, this is weird!
However, the only hard rule I've found is that it has to have at least an undertone of nostalgia or eeriness. So with that established, I can finally share all the wonderfully strange music I found. Let's start with the music that evokes feelings of dread, creepiness, and general unease. The Caretaker is probably the most well-known artist in this video, who's famous for sampling old ballroom music and distorting it to sound weird and creepy.
Heartaches, heartaches, my loving you meant only heartaches.
If you're on the internet frequently, you've probably heard one of his songs, even if you haven't realized it. He's like the poster child for Backrooms music, so I found a ton of good stuff to add from him. Highlights include Drifting in Sublime Hope, Fleeting Dreams, In the Dark,
You and I
And it's all forgotten now. A frequent theme you see with these eerie songs is their tendency to be more ambient music. Songs like Do Not Open That Door by Atomized, Gray Stripe by Aphex Twin, Chirpa Champurrado by Grouper, and Computer-Generated Field of Platonic Existence by Infinity Frequencies are great examples of this sound. The Backrooms aren't all doom and gloom though. There's plenty of wonder and beauty to be found within them, which is where the more whimsical music comes in. Dreamcore has an impressive range of sounds in their respectably sized discography, but I think some of their best work is when they lean into this whimsy. Songs like Let Me Get Inside That Mind of Yours, Memory Faint, and World Stops, Brain Starts are some of my favorites from them. A lot of artists really toe the line of this sound, teetering between whimsy and wacky. Artists like Pilot Red Sun with Bad Mutation, and Orgo Earn, and Lion Milk with The Gift of Sunshine, and The Simple Things, are great examples. A little more admittedly questionable ones include Alert Nuclear by Atomized, and Venus by Molina.
There is something inside.
They're good backroom songs, but the whimsy might be more in the eye of the beholder. I also wish I could find instrumentals of Molina's songs. I think they'd be much more appropriate that way. Finally, we have the weird. Songs in this category are some of the hardest to come by, but they can also have the strongest backrooms vibes. Pilot Red Sun is probably the best when it comes to weirdness, with songs like Fab Whisper Bass, and School Stapler. Aphex Twin is another artist known for being incredibly weird just in general, which is reflected in songs like Analog Bubble Bath, and Your Head, My Voice. Dreamcore earns their way into the mentions again here with Ascension, and False Memory. And one of my favorite finds from this whole deep dive is Dance de Los Angeles by Lion Milk. Not only are these songs hard to come by, but it was also really tough for me to weed out the ones that were good for the backrooms versus the ones that I just thought sounded really good. However, there's one more type of backrooms music that I want to cover, and it's where the true beauty of this genre shines. Backrooms music isn't just bound to the confines of musical artists. It can be found in all forms of media. I found some great gems in video games like the ancient castle music from Devil May Cry 1, Fallen Down from Undertale, Haunted House from Mario 64, and Limestone Cave from Sonic Adventure. And I'm not the only one who's caught on to this, as a few iconic songs from the community are edited versions of video game music, like the version of Mice on Venus from Minecraft remixed by Ember, or Aquatic Ambience by Sizzy, which samples Donkey Kong. But video games are just the tip of the iceberg. TV shows, movies, even YouTube series. Anyone remember Salad Fingers music? The potential is limitless, but admittedly, this is definitely the category of Backrooms music that I've explored the least. But how do you even research something like this? Nobody's making convenient lists of liminal music they happen to notice in the background across thousands of different shows, movies, and games. But I want this video to change that. By showcasing this music, I've actually been equipping you with the knowledge needed to identify good Backrooms music yourself. Think about any unsettling or weird piece of music that stuck with you. It could be from anywhere. Remember this video in the future when you happen to hear something eerily nostalgic. Comment your findings, and if I think it's good enough, I'll add it to the playlist. Also, listen to the full playlist linked in the description, and listen to the music in the comments. Let me know if the playlist needs tweaking, and like a comment if you agree with their suggestion. As a community, we can come together to create the definitive Backrooms listening experience. Happy hunting, and thanks for watching.